right? Because this is something that a lot of people think that they do and they're not doing. And we're going to explain that, right? We're going to explain the different ways you can do this. And today's topic, we're going to talk about how to grow guaranteed, how to grow spiritually guaranteed. You just need to know what you're doing when you're on a spiritual path, and make sure, because the number one thing you should be doing is making sure that you evolve, right? Just reading a lot of books and gathering information will not help you evolve. It will help you gain a lot of information, right? So you can gain all the information you want about riding a bike, but if you don't ever learn how to ride that bike, it's useless. It's useless. So we're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to give you guys a book that I want you guys to really read and get into. All right. So this book, this video here today was inspired by a friend of mine named Queen Anya, who's a poetess. And me and her was talking, and she asked me, she said, what book helps you grow when you started your path? And I said, wow, the first book that came to my head was a book that I read like in 2009. It was called Spiritual Growth, right? Spiritual Growth. And this book really helped me grow leaps and bounds. It helped me get over my depression, right? It literally cured me from my depression, this book. And I was struggling with depression pretty bad. And I would just wake up almost every day, especially on the weekend for some reason, depressed, down, didn't want to live life. This book taught me how to use my energy. So I recommend this book. This book is called Spiritual Growth by Sonia Roman, okay? Spiritual Growth by Sonia Roman. And you guys need to really get this book. And when you hear this video, you're going to see why. So we're going to talk about how to grow spiritually guaranteed. And the first thing we're going to talk about here is a very important part of yourself, because it is your true self. It is the true you, and that is your soul, right? The soul. The soul is a very powerful entity that doesn't come from this realm. It comes from another dimension, and it has different parts of itself that it breaks off into. Okay, you have a part of your soul that's God, right? You have a part of your soul that's angelic, a part of your soul that's demonic. Okay, you got a part of your soul that's all different elemental. You got all different aspects of your soul. And this is why sometimes when you dream, you see yourself around these different dimensions of, you might see dragons in your dream, right? Because that's a part of you that's a dragon. I know that's hard to believe, right? But you need the consciousness to understand that. Sometimes you might see angels in your dreams, right? You need to understand there's an aspect of you that's angelic. Now, some people never dream these dreams because their consciousness is so low. But as their consciousness grows and evolves and expands, you will have these dreams pretty much guaranteed. And I'm a person that knows that for sure. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the soul, right? And the soul, like I said, is different parts to the soul. But we need to understand, how does the soul nourish itself? Okay? How does the soul nourish itself? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because if you can figure out how the soul nourishes itself, then you can learn how to grow spiritually, okay? Because the soul, one of the contracts you signed when you came down here was to suffer, okay? And suffering evolves you to a certain extent, because every time you suffer, you learn a lesson. And that lesson is knowledge, right? So you gain knowledge from applying the right information down here in the physical world that you applied wrong so many times in past lifetimes. You finally apply the right information, and now you've gained knowledge. The soul has gained knowledge on a specific thing in your life. Could be relationships, it could be health, could be money, could be sicknesses, whatever. So you obtain that knowledge. That little bit of knowledge that you obtained grew the soul a little bit. The soul learned. So the soul evolved to a certain extent. But that way of evolving is very low when you really study metaphysics and really understand deeper on what the soul really wants and needs, right? So the soul absorbs light, and it needs light because the soul is light, right? It's a very high form of light, a very high spectrum of light. And the truth of the matter is, the soul eats light to expand and evolve itself. The more light you feed the soul, the more you will grow. Your consciousness will expand. The consciousness, the true consciousness, is connected to the soul. And we need to understand that. So another thing I want you guys to understand is about magic, right? I'm a magician. We all practice magic, right? Well, I don't want to say we all, because some people may be watching this video for the first time, and may think that this stuff sounds a little weird. And I want to let you know right now, the video I'm doing today is not for babies, right? This video today is going to be about science. We're going to get into some deep science today, and you're going to see why as I go deeper into this video. But at the same time, you know, that when your grandparents told you the story about the lady that they had to go see in the woods, that was mixing herbs and stuff together, that was healing people in the community back when they didn't have doctors, that person was practicing science. Okay, we look at it today as voodoo, hoodoo, and it's evil, but it's science, right? We think of science today as a man with a lab coat in a laboratory, but the first science that was dealing with nature. They were shamans, and we need to understand that. Okay, so with that being said, we need to understand that magic is very powerful, right? And there's different forms of magic, and you can use magic to evolve yourself if you do it right. But a lot of the magic, I would say 90% of the magic out here that's really out here right now, even in these books, they teach you how to do rituals to get what you want in this world. That's what a lot of the magic, you get from a lot of the magic here today. And trust me, I got tons of books on magic, and a lot of books today on magic don't teach you how to grow. That's why I recommended that book earlier in this video. I think I talked about this book, the book by Sonia Roman called Spiritual Growth. Sonia Roman, you guys need to get that book. It's a very cheap book, but it teaches you how to use your mind to absorb light and grow spiritually, right? On a basic level. There's other advanced ways to grow light, to feed the soul light, and we'll talk about some of those things in a minute. But the soul eats light, and you guys need to really understand that. And magic is a tool that you can use to absorb light. If you're only doing magic to get money and to make sure love is around you and to increase your frequency, that's cool, right? That's cool. But at the same time, you need to be using magic every day to make sure you are evolving and to make sure your ancestors are evolving, right? Because as a magician, the first layer of protection that you have around you is your ancestors. So if you're doing magic every day, you don't do no ancestor work. You're doing your magic backwards from the beginning, right? You need to honor your ancestors on a daily, weekly basis. So if you use magic the right way, you can use it to evolve. And we're going to talk about some of that in this video. But like I said, a lot of people don't use magic to evolve. They use magic to get what they want. And that's cool. You know, there's no problem with that. But if you're looking to get out of here and never come back, which should be the main goal of every magician, you know, help who you can, then get off this plane and never come back, then you know what, I need to learn how to evolve yourself and take light with you. Because the main goal of every person on this planet who is into spirituality and magic is to take your memory with you. That's what you want to do when you pass away. Some of us come back to this world, all of us really, I don't want to say all of us, but a lot of us do, and we don't remember what we did in a past life, right? We don't remember who we were, what was going on. That's because we didn't take our memory with us. But if you can absorb light to a certain extent, you can take your memory up to a certain dimension with you if you absorb the right type of light, right? And we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about that. So the three main types of light that we're going to talk about that you can absorb is mental light, right? You can use your imagination, which is also goes into the astral plane, but you can absorb mental light. And that also goes into reading books, right? So you can read books and absorb energy through the books if you read the right type of books. And this is what people don't understand. There's books out there that you can read. And if you read the right books, you can absorb energy on a daily basis. A specific type of energy, a higher light, if you read the right type of books. Because we read books, we get small increments of light because we're understanding something. So we're growing, right? Our mind is growing, but at the same time, we want our consciousness to grow. We need to be able to look at something. And this is called scanning, right? There are certain books that you can just scan and you can absorb light. And, you know, so read your magic books, read your magic books, study, learn. But on a daily basis, too, you should be scanning, right? You should be scanning books so you can absorb information. And I'm going to give you a book right now that you guys can scan on a daily basis. And if you just look at the pages, you don't need to read it. Just scan it. The subconscious mind, which is a very powerful aspect of yourself, knows exactly what the words are saying. All you need to do is look at the pages. And this book I'm going to give you guys will keep bad karma out of your life. It will get rid of destructive forces in your life. All you need to do is scan the book. Right? Look at the book, and it's not that expensive. So what you guys need to do is you guys need to get volume 6 of I don't want to say the wrong book. The Zohar. I almost forgot for a second here. You guys want to get a book called the Zohar. Okay, the Zohar Volume 6 is a very powerful book that you can scan and get the original version that's in the original, Hebrew or whatever. Get the book, look at the pages, and just scan as many pages as you can on a daily basis. Get a pocket size. Keep that book with you in your pocket. It's like a talisman. Seriously, it's like a talisman. You can use that book to protect yourself. Get a copy to keep in your car. Keep a copy in your house. Keep a copy at your job. Keep a copy in your pocket, your purse, whatever you carry. The Zohar Volume 6 is a part of the Zohar that has a lot of light encoded into it. And I'm telling you guys the truth. You want to get the Zohar Volume 6 and just scan through that and absorb light. Absorb light. You're going to be able to bring that light down mentally that will go into the astral world, and that will eventually, you will gain light from it, okay? So that's something you can do every day to put light into your aura and put light into your life. And then the soul is being fed that way also. The consciousness is growing and expanding that way also, okay? So the next thing I want to tell you guys about is, well, let me say this first. Let me go to the second one. The second way that you can absorb light and feed the soul is through the astral. You will absorb astral light, okay? Astral light, astral energy. You want to do the best you can to absorb that on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, if you can. Now, this is where it's going to get real scientific, right? Because I'm going to give you guys something you can do on a daily basis, something that I do. I'm not just giving you guys for, just for fun. I'm telling you guys something that I do that is basically going to give you guys a way to absorb light, okay? So if you're not afraid, you can do this and you'll absorb light, okay? So what you guys want to do is you want to make an altar for yourself. Now, most people get scared when you say altar because most people think altars are about dead people. Yes, most altars are for dead people, but you can also have an altar for a living person, okay? That's right. You can put living people on the altar. And this is something I've been doing for years, okay? I haven't died. Okay, nothing bad has happened to me. I'm just telling you guys the truth. You can make an altar with yourself. Make sure you have nice clothes on. And if you can get a picture of yourself with all white on, like prime example, I use my wedding picture, right? I use my wedding picture, and basically, I had an all white suit on, and I used that on my altar. So you guys want to get a light for your, get a picture. If you don't have a picture with white clothes, it's fine. But white clothes will help a lot more. So you want to get a picture of yourself and you want to make an altar for yourself. And I'm going to explain to you guys what you want to do. And you're going to start to absorb astral light. I promise you. Okay? And I'm going to explain this so you guys can understand it. So what you want to do is get that picture, put it on the altar. And then what you want to do is you want to get a white candle, okay? Write your name on the candle. Write all your affirmations of what you want on the candle. If you have a glass candle, you can write it on the glass, or get a white piece of paper, put it on the glass and tape it. And then what I'm going to tell you next, you're going to put it on the inside of the candle. Because you have to dress the candle, right? So get a white candle, and then what you want to do is you want to get some silver. Go on the internet and buy you some silver coins. Real silver, okay? Silver is connected to the moon, and the moon is connected to astral energy. So we're going to be absorbing a little bit of lunar energy here. But we don't want to absorb too much lunar energy because you can become a lunatic. Real talk. You could become a lunatic. And you don't want to go crazy absorbing too much astral energy. So all you want to do is get you a couple pieces of silver. If you can get you some gold too, that's fine, but you don't have to, right? But you want to get you some silver, right? Then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can get you some anything that you love or like, things that you want to manifest. Get pictures of it. Cut it out of magazines. Keep you some money on this altar, real money on this altar. And anything that you want in life, new car, new house, keep pictures of this stuff all on your altar, right? Because you're going to surround yourself with this energy, right? Then what you want to do is You want to get a bowl? Go to the dollar store, get you a glass bowl, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to go online and buy some heaven notes and hell notes. Now, let me explain for the people that's scary, right? Hell notes were called hell notes because of Christian missionaries going into China and telling the Chinese people that their ancestors were in hell, right? Because they didn't worship Christ, all right? But originally, it was called ancestor money. Ancestor money. And you need this. This is a key thing that you're going to need to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that glass bowl. You're going to light the white candle, right? Now, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put some of your DNA on everything that I talked about. However you want to do it. I know some people are, now the way I do it, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I prick my finger and rub some of my blood on the candle, on the silver coin, on the picture, and everything else on there, right? And basically what I do is your blood is going to connect the earth realm and the spirit realm when you light the fire. The fire like turns the altar on, right? So the blood is going to, your DNA, I'm not going to keep saying blood. That is what I do. Some people use their saliva, right? You do have DNA in your saliva, but you won't be spitting on your altar. You know what I'm saying? The spirits might find that offensive. But I know some people that actually use their saliva and they rub it every now and then. The blood will stay longer though. If you can do the blood, it stays longer. The saliva may not stay that long. But I know people who are scared to use their blood and they use saliva. And it works just fine for them, right? Saliva has DNA also, right? Also, what you can do is take some of your hair, right? It's very powerful, just as powerful as the blood too. Blood is a little bit more powerful, I'll be honest. But take some of your hair and leave it around the altar. Put it inside the candle. Put it under the silver coins. Put it around the ancestor bowl that you're going to burn the ancestor money. You know, and put it on the altar. Put your hair on the altar, okay? Your DNA connects heaven and earth to your ancestors, and also it's going to connect you to the astral world, okay? When you look at different cultures in Africa, we'll say Africa here, who use goat's blood and different types of blood for ritual, the real science of what they're doing is, right? Let's say like somebody trying to call down Papa Legba, right? And they kill a goat, they slay a goat. It's not about killing the goat that's important, right? It's the energy of the goat that's inside of the goat that's going to help the energy of the God come down. Because any magician knows once you connect the earth element to anything astral, you can pull it down a lot easier. I just gave you guys a big secret. You connect the earth element with something astral, you can connect them and pull it down, the energy down quicker. Cornmeal has a lot of earth elemental energy inside of it. That's why they draw the veve with the cornmeal. Okay, cornmeal has a lot of powerful earth elemental energy, right? But your blood is the number one most powerful elemental energy that you can use, in my opinion. Okay, your DNA, because that's going to connect you and the frequency, whatever you're trying to get to. Okay, this is science, people. This is not nothing to be afraid of. This is all science. So that's what's going to happen. So you want to do all that. You want to, every day you want to burn ancestor money, and you want to burn or heaven notes. Heaven notes will be better. I remember one time I was burning ancestor money for my spiritual father, and he said, I don't want, he said, I want hell notes. I want the heaven notes. I didn't even know what that was. I never even heard of heaven notes. And sure enough, I went on there. Heaven notes exist. But if you can't find the heaven notes, they're a little harder to find. Get the ancestor money. It works just as well. And you're going to burn that every day, and you're going to tell this, I'm saving this. When you burn it, you're going to burn it and say that you're burning this for your own energy. I'm burning this ancestor money for my own benefit and my own energy. And you're going to let that ancestor money burn, right? And the ancestor money is an Asian thing, right? But we're scientists. It doesn't matter. We use whatever works. So once you start burning this ancestor money every day, and you light this candle that has your hair in it, or your DNA on it, right? Or both, what's going to happen is you're going to start to absorb astral energy. I promise you guys this. And that silver coin is going to be like a conduit, It's going to help you pull that energy down a lot better. So especially on full moon, you're really going to feel it during the full moon when you light that altar. I promise you that. You're going to start to absorb astral light. Your dreams are going to be more advanced. You're going to wake up more in your dreams, and you're going to be absorbing more light. So let's say you only do this, right, for the rest of your life. You got an altar for yourself, and you're burning this ancestor money, and you're talking to your altar. You're putting all this good stuff on your altar. When you die and pass away, you're going to go to a higher astral plane, a higher astral world, okay? And your consciousness is going to be able to do that because you absorb so much astral light. So if you have a lot of astral light, you can go to the higher astral worlds when you pass away. Some people don't even make it to the higher astral worlds. They go to hell, the lower astral worlds, which is more like a hell state, okay? Where nightmares and shit like that happen. So people need to understand this is a way that you can absorb astral light. And this is a very simple way if you do it. There's more ways I could talk about, but like I said, I don't give all my information away for free on here. So you can absorb astral light every day, every time you light that altar. Even when it's not lit, you're still absorbing astral light, okay? Because that altar is altering the energy around you and is creating a bridge through the fire that you light between you and the spiritual world, okay? And that's going to be your personal altar. So it's feeding your astral body. Everybody has an astral body. Your astral body is being fed light through this way. And that light is permeating down to you. Okay, so this is something, and also the ancestor monies can be used also to feed your astral body. So this is something that you can do and advance yourself. Now, the most advanced way on this planet to absorb light is solar light. Okay, and if you absorb enough solar light, you can obtain what they call a light body. And that solar thing, I'm just going to tell you guys about. I'm not going to talk about a lot how to do that on here, because that's very advanced. But at the same time, you can absorb solar light, and you can absorb more. You can absorb sunlight, and the sunlight will go into your cells, and you can actually evolve yourself that way. That is like some of the highest light, because the sun is connected to Tesseract in Kabbalah. So it's like a fifth dimensional high level. So the more of the solar light you absorb, and most people probably think I'm talking about going outside because you're black or something and you can just absorb more light. And you can do that, but at the same time, you're not really absorbing the light the right way. You're absorbing the light for your physical benefit when you do that. If you want to absorb it for your spiritual benefit, there's a more advanced way and the more things that you have to do to absorb the light. And on this planet, if you want to feed the soul the best nourishment, you have to absorb solar light, right? Astral light will feed the soul nourishment too, but the solar light will feed the soul the most nourishment you can get. Now, if you read the book I'm telling you guys about, once again, it's called Spiritual Growth by Sonia Roman. If you guys read this book, it will give you very advanced mental techniques that you can do to absorb light on a daily basis. Just that alone, if you didn't ever want to make the altar, you can do these practices every day. You can actually evolve yourself. Real talk, you guys can evolve yourself, and you guys can absorb more light, and you guys can ascend when you pass away, because you would have absorbed so much light in your life, right? That's a big mistake people make practicing magic. They don't absorb enough light, right? And you can be a good or bad person. It doesn't matter. You can be on the left-hand path and absorb all the light you can. Darkness is light. So people on the left-hand path absorb a lot of darkness, and darkness is still light. Yeah, right? It's actually a higher form of light. But the thing is, it's so potent and so powerful until it can kind of drive you mad if you absorb it the wrong way. It's so putrid, like it's so powerful. The dark light is so powerful until you just can't absorb it on a consistent basis unless you know what you're doing, because it's like Bobby Hemmett said, it's bleaching water, and that's so true. That's so true. So, you know, and even some of the things I have in here today is helping you absorb light. I'm not going to talk about what's in here, but you know, there's a lot of things you can do even to put around your body to help you absorb light too, or help you to absorb a divine energy, right? I'll give you guys an example. There's some beads called Rudra beads, and they come out of India. Those beads have divine energy inside of them. There's a white light that forms around those beads on a continuous basis. When you wear those beads, your aura is being fed light. Because those seeds absorb divine energy on a continuous basis. Something to think about, right? I ain't giving away no more stuff. So get y'all some Rudra beads, Rudra meditation beads, and wear them every now and then. And then I got some other stuff in here that's helping me put my light. So you guys should be absorbing and eating light on a daily basis, some kind of way, at a low level or high level, whatever. Absorb light. Don't just do magic for ritualistic purpose, which is cool. But at the same time, you need to eat light because that's how you're going to evolve and grow. All right. So the more you do that, the more you evolve and grow. So, so I hope that I'm making sure I told you guys everything here in my notes. So, I hope that really helps you guys. I hope you guys came to an understanding about what growth is and how you guys can grow spiritually. Because some people don't even know they need to absorb light. So I hope this video really helps you guys. And like I said before, if you guys got any questions or you want a consultations, you guys can hit me up on NULYFE. That's New Life. Well, life is spelled LYFE. So that's NULYFE Tools, TOOLS.